Stop doing these 5 things to your eyes after the age of 50 and watch what happens to your face in photographs. Because right now, there is a very good chance the eyeliner you have worn since the 90s is the reason your eyes read tired before you have said a word. But before we get to the mistakes, I am giving you 10 Korean makeup tricks built for exactly this, for a lid that folds over, skin that has softened, and fine lines that eat shadow for breakfast. We are counting down from number 10, and number 1 is the one you will rarely hear about at a beauty counter. It may be the single thing standing between you and looking 20 years younger. So stay with me to the end. Let's get into it. Number 10, prep the lid like it is skin, because it is. Watch a woman get ready in a bathroom mirror and you will see her moisturize her cheeks, her jaw, her neck, and then skip right over the one place that gets the most movement in the entire face. That eyelid blinks something like 15,000 times a day. When the skin there is dry and crepey, shadow does not glide. It grabs, it catches in every little line and goes patchy within an hour. Korean routines treat the lid as skin first and canvas second. A pea of light moisturizer tapped in with your ring finger, never dragged. Give it 2 full minutes to sink. Then take a folded tissue and press once across the lid to lift the surface slick off. You want hydrated underneath and matte on top. That combination is what helps keep color from creasing into the fold. Number 9, map your eye with your eyes open. This is the one that changes everything, and it costs you nothing. You are taught to close your eye, look down into the mirror, and blend shadow into the crease. Fine if your crease is visible when you open up. On a hooded lid, it is not. All that beautiful blending folds under the hood and disappears, and the only thing anyone sees is a faint smudge of nothing. So do it the other way around. Look straight ahead into the mirror, eyes open, chin level. Find where the fold actually sits when your face is doing what it does all day. Now place your deeper shade just above that line, on the piece of skin that stays visible. It will look strange and too high with the eye closed. Open up, and there it is, a soft shadow that reads as depth instead of vanishing into the fold. Number 8, the soft, straight brow that opens the whole eye. That high-arched brow so many of us drew through the 90s and never stopped drawing does hooded eyes no favors. A steep arch shortens the space between brow and lash line, and a short space is exactly what makes an eye look heavy and closed. The Korean approach is a softer, flatter brow with the tail lifting gently up and out, never down. Use light feathery strokes with a fine pencil, following the direction your hair actually grows, and stop yourself from carving a hard outline underneath. That hard line is what reads as drawn on. One more small thing. Brush a whisper of your lightest shadow just underneath the arch, then blend it until you cannot see where it starts. That little bit of lift under the brow bone gives you visual space, and space reads as youth. Number 7. Tight line instead of piling liner on the lash line. A thick band of liner on top of the lashes gets swallowed by a hooded lid. You draw it, you look up, it is gone, and the only proof it exists is the print it leaves on your brow bone by noon. Tight lining fixes that. You lift the upper lashes gently with a fingertip, then press a soft pencil into the roots from underneath, filling the gaps between the lashes rather than sitting on top of them. From the front, you see a dense lash line and no visible liner at all. There's nothing sitting on top of the lid to fold over, migrate, or smudge onto the skin above. Use a soft brown or a warm charcoal rather than a hard black. On mature skin, dense black at the lash line can read severe under overhead light, and severe is not the same thing as defined. Number 6. Aegyosal, the little cushion under the eye. Korean makeup has a name for the soft ridge of muscle that sits just under the lower lash line, and instead of hiding it, they light it up. A small shimmer tapped along that ridge with your fingertip catches light and makes the whole eye look rounder and more awake. The trick is restraint. Keep it to the inner 2/3, keep it fine and satin rather than chunky glitter, and stop well before you reach the under eye hollow. Glitter in a fine line is a magnifying glass, and we are not magnifying anything today. Done right, it does something clever. It pushes the visual weight of the eye downward and outward, which balances the heaviness sitting up top on the hood. Number 5. Blur your liner instead of winging it. A crisp graphic wing needs a smooth surface to sit on. On softened skin, it snags, it wobbles, and the tail often pulls the eye down instead of up. So blur it. Take a soft brown pencil, draw a short line along the outer third of your lash line only, then immediately go over it with a small, dense brush until the edge dissolves. You want a shadow rather than a stripe. Push that soft shadow slightly upward at the outer corner in the same direction your brow tail is heading. When the brow tail and the liner tail agree with each other, the eye reads lifted. If you want a little extra, one thin flick of the same soft brown from underneath the lower lash line at the outer corner, meeting the top. Barely there. That tiny meeting point does the work a heavy wing used to do. Number 4, curl straight up and give the outer lashes the attention. Mature lashes get straighter and finer, and a straight lash lying flat under a hood is a curtain. It sits over the eye and casts a shadow, which is exactly the tired look you are fighting. Squeeze the curler at the very base, hold for a slow count of 10, then walk it out toward the middle of the lash with a second, gentler squeeze. Straight up, not out. Then focus most of your mascara on the outer half of the lashes, wiggling at the root and pushing upward, letting the inner lashes stay lighter. Weighted outer lashes plus a vertical curl create a visual lift at the corner of the eye. It is a small mechanical trick with a surprisingly large effect on how open the eye looks. Number 3, cream and liquid textures instead of powder. Powder shadow on a lid with any texture at all will find every fine line and sit inside it. That is just what powder does. Cream shadows behave differently. They melt into the skin instead of sitting on top. They move with the lid instead of cracking across it, and they keep that dewy, lived-in finish that Korean beauty is built around. Tap them on with your ring finger, never drag a brush back and forth. Warm the product first, press it into place, and build in whisper-thin layers. If you love a particular powder shade, use it as a light dusting over a cream base rather than on bare skin. The cream underneath gives it something to hold on to, and it helps to keep the color from going patchy by lunch. Number 2, tap. Never drag. I want you to notice what your hands are doing tomorrow morning. Most of the damage does not come from the product. It comes from the pressure. Pulling the lid taut with 2 fingers to draw a straighter line, dragging a sponge under the eye, rubbing concealer in with the flat of a finger. That skin is the thinnest on the entire body, and it does not spring back the way it used to. Korean technique is almost annoyingly gentle. Everything is padded, pressed, layered, and left alone. Set the brush down and use your fingertips for anything near the eye. Your ring finger is the weakest one you have, which is precisely why it is the right tool. Gentle hands today may help protect the skin you will be working with in 5 years. And number 1, the one you will rarely hear about at a beauty counter. Your eye does not exist by itself. It sits in a face. You can execute every single trick I just gave you perfectly. And if the skin around that eye looks heavy, cakey, or has gone orange by 3 in the afternoon, the whole thing collapses. Your eyes read exactly as fresh as the skin surrounding them, and not one shade fresher. There is one foundation made for mature skin. It helps to blur fine lines, helps to smooth texture, designed to look natural, not heavy, and designed to resist oxidizing, loved by hundreds of women. It is called Luxe. It's not in stock in stores yet, but it's the best-selling foundation on Amazon right now. You can find it on Amazon by searching Luxe Foundation, or just click the link in the description below this video. If it's gone, it's gone. And you can imagine the results like this. Results may vary. And if you comment the word secret, I will send you one more secret step for mature skin that may help your makeup last 12 hours or more. Make sure you are following me or I cannot reach you. Now the 5 mistakes. And I want you to be honest with yourself, because at least 2 of these are almost certainly in your routine right now. Mistake number 5, carving a crease that is not there. Packing a dark matte shade into the socket on a hooded eye gives you one of 2 results. It vanishes under the fold, or it peeks out as a muddy stripe that makes the lid look heavier than it is. You are drawing a shadow onto skin that is already casting one. Place your depth above the fold instead, exactly as we covered in number 9. Mistake number 4, ringing the eye in dark liner, liner top, liner bottom, liner in the waterline, all in the same dark shade. It closes the eye like a drawstring bag, that lower waterline especially. Filling it in dark shrinks the visible white of the eye and drops the whole thing downward. Try a soft warm nude in the lower waterline instead and watch the eye open up in the mirror. Mistake number 3, heavy concealer under the eye, then powder on top. The instinct makes sense. The result does not. Full coverage concealer troweled under the eye and locked down with powder is a recipe for creasing, and creasing under the eye is one of the most aging things makeup can do to a face. Shear it out, keep it to the inner corner and the darkest part only, tap it in, and skip the heavy setting powder entirely. Mistake number 2. Frost across the mobile lid. Shimmer is not the enemy, frost is. A shiny finish spread across the whole moving part of the lid catches overhead light and highlights every fold and crinkle it lands on. Keep shine confined to the inner corner and that little under eye ridge, and let the rest of the lid stay soft and satin. And mistake number 1. Fighting the fold. The one I want to leave you with. Trying to make a hooded eye behave like a lid, it is not. Stretching the skin, drawing over the fold, layering more product on, when the first layer disappeared, then more again. All of that is a losing argument with your own anatomy, and it shows in the finished face. Work with the fold. Place color where it will actually be seen, lift at the outer corner, keep the textures soft, and keep your hands light. That is the entire Korean philosophy in one sentence, and it is why it suits mature hooded eyes so well. Try 3 of these tomorrow morning, not 10-3. The open eye mapping, the tight line, and the blurred outer liner. Look at yourself in daylight by a window, not under the bathroom bulb, and tell me in the comments what you notice. And if you want that extra step for making everything last, the word is secret. I will be watching for it.